Hello, I'm Dr. E. Barry Gordon, and this is the third in my series of well over 24 videos about the disease testosterone deficiency, a devastating disease affecting many tens of millions of us right now. Today I'll begin examining testosterone the hormone, what it is, where it's made, and its importance. In the next video I'll discuss the basics of what it does. Testosterone is a steroid. I'm sure you've heard that word very often. Many people bandy it about as if they knew what it meant. With very few exceptions, they don't. Since this whole series of videos is about a steroid, it's important that you understand exactly what the word means. Steroid is a chemical term, simply a chemical description of a number of hormones made from the parent compound cholesterol, and the different steroid hormones have vastly different functions and effects. The word is about as descriptive as the word vehicle. You get a vague general idea of something that moves, but not much more. The steroid hormones are made in the testes, the ovaries, and the adrenal glands. These are little glands perched on top of the kidneys. There are 5 basic steroid hormones: cortisol, commonly known as cortisone, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, and aldosterone. There are also many modifications of these hormones, as our glands manufacture them step by step, and then as they're subsequently altered and broken down. The word steroid is most commonly used, however, to identify just 2 of the hormones, testosterone and cortisone. Both have numerous and potent effects on the body, yet, ironically, almost all of their many effects are exactly the opposite of each other. Cortisone has an effect to weaken muscles. Testosterone strengthens muscles. Cortisone in excess causes osteoporosis. Testosterone prevents or reverses osteoporosis. Cortisone causes or promotes diabetes. Testosterone inhibits and improves diabetes, and so on. So don't pay attention to nonsense. The next time you hear someone commenting that something is a steroid, ask them what the word means. There's one more very important piece of information to present about steroids. 3 of them are necessary for life. A loss of cortisone and aldosterone is an extremely serious situation, a condition called Addison's disease. Left untreated, it's often ultimately fatal. The absence of sufficient testosterone also kills us, but very, very slowly. So slowly, in fact, and in so many different ways that the bulk of the practicing medical community has not yet seen the connections. The medical research community, however, has. In the last few years, 4 major institutions have published studies on the relationship between testosterone levels and men's lifespans. Studies from the University of California, Washington State Veterans Administration, Cambridge University in England, and our own National Institute of Health have all shown a clear relationship. The more testosterone in a man, the longer he lives. They didn't mince words. Let me read you the conclusions from 2 of them. From the University of California, San Diego, published in the October 2007 Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism. Quote, testosterone insufficiency in older men is associated with increased risk of death over the following 20 years, independent of multiple risk factors and several pre-existing health conditions. Close quote. From the National Institute on Aging, the National Institute of Health, published in the November 2007 issue of the Archives of Internal Medicine. Quote, age-associated decline in anabolic hormone levels, that's testosterone, is a strong independent predictor of mortality in older men. Close quote. These studies provide abundant evidence of the ultimate deadliness of testosterone deficiency. But they also tell us something more, something very important. Isn't it interesting that none of these researchers were able to identify any specific cause or causes of the early deaths among the more severely testosterone deficient men? What better confirmation could there be that the absence of the hormone has severe effects on a great number and variety of different diseases? I'm not aware of any similar studies done on women. The medical world mostly pretends that testosterone has nothing to do with females, sort of like the unseen elephant in the living room. But it's simply not believable that the maintenance of adequate testosterone levels wouldn't prolong women's health and life as well as men's. I'll have more to say on the matter of testosterone in females in the next video. These 4 studies are part of the many dozens posted on my website, www.thehiddendisease.com. You'll find a lot of other information there, as well as all previously released videos in this series. This was supposed to be the end of my mortality discussion, but just before I filmed this video, my wife alerted me to an article she found on the MedPage Today website. Rather than just revealing the association between low testosterone levels and what should be called premature death, this study showed that depriving men of testosterone is fatal. You first need to know that the almost total depletion of testosterone by drugs that affect the pituitary gland is a very common treatment for many men with prostate cancer. A paper on this subject was presented by Dr. Amy DeSoris of Harvard at a recent medical conference. Dr. DeSoris reported the results of a study that showed that men over 70 whose testosterone was depleted because of prostate cancer suffered a 20% increase in their death rate when compared to men whose testosterone was left alone. That's really not surprising. The article went on, and I quote, "While anti-androgen therapy, that's testosterone elimination, has been known to cause a range of adverse events, including some involving the cardiovascular system, Dr. DeSoris said the available data don't allow her to say exactly what caused the increased risk in her study." Close quote. Another physician at the conference remarked that the study was a confirmatory analysis and continued, quote, "But what we don't have is an understanding of why these patients died." Close quote. I'll tell you why they died. And the reason isn't limited to men with prostate cancer. They died because testosterone deficiency is ultimately a fatal disease, no matter your age or sex. They died because the lack of testosterone not only incites or worsens many different diseases, but so debilitates the body that people die more quickly from almost any disease. In the 4th video, I'll discuss the basics of what testosterone does for us. As I'm going to ask at the end of every segment, help me to inform and alert everyone in the country about the existence and nature of this disease. Tell your friends and relatives. Show them these videos. Email the links to everyone in your address book and ask them to do the same. I'm Dr. E. Barry Gordon. Thank you for watching.